Hi everybody, it's Saul Sunforge back at you with another video. Hopefully you're all doing great. I appreciate all of you for watching. I noticed that I'm getting more views, more follows, and I love it. I would love even more if you guys made some comments on my videos. I can respond to your comments, and I respond to pretty much everything. Maybe even stuff that might not even have to do with D&D. Just me personally, if you want to get to know me, I'm cool with that. And then my social medias. I'll start putting those in the descriptions and things like that. At least slowly, I'll start slowly rolling that in. For my personal Twitter account, it's kind of like my personal slash, business. It's really both. I probably should make a separate one for both, I imagine. But, you know, it is what it is for right now. I am going to make a video coming up. I don't know if it's going to be today. It might be. I don't know. It might be tomorrow. But, with all the things that I'm planning to do or am working on doing for 2022. This video, which I don't know if you're going to consider it late or not to the party, it is late to the party in terms of what they're in season 3 now. But I thought I would weigh in with my perspective on the Mercer effect and Critical Role in general. And, I'm a pretty busy dude, so I don't get much time to really watch other campaigns. Because, I'm working on my campaign, or I'm working on my daughter's homework because I homeschool her, or I'm working at work because I work, or, you know what I'm saying? So, but I do watch Critical Role, or at least listen to it while I'm at work. I started listening to it, and I'm only on season 1. I mean, I know they're on season 3 now. Like I said, I'm on season 1. I think I'm like 43 episodes in, or somewhere around there. And I wanted to make this video about 9 months ago, but back then I actually wasn't even sure that I had time to make a channel, and I decided to just go for it, just do it because it's what I wanted to do. And this is as much for me as it is for you. If I had 0 viewers, I might still make this stuff. Maybe not as often, but I'd probably still do it because I find it fun. And if my material could help, even 1 or 2 people out, I feel like that's a worthy investment of my time. But back to Critical Role. So here are my thoughts about Critical Role, and I'm going to try to keep this video rather shorter than most of my other videos. So first, I want to say that Critical Role, it's awesome. It's awesome. Matthew Mercer is great. He's amazing. He's a great voice actor. He has amazing hair. Very lovely flowing locks. He's a cool dude. By all accounts, if I knew him personally, I'd probably love to talk D&D with him. I'd probably go out to a bar with him, and things like that. And that to me is probably the best sign of endorsement I could give somebody, is that I would want to hang out with them personally. Because I just don't really have much time to hang out with people personally. I'd make time to hang out with Matthew Mercer. And not just Matthew Mercer, of course. There's Marisha Ray, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, Taliesin Jaffe, and Ashley Johnson, who I knew from Growing Pains, and she looked very familiar to me when I first saw her. And I haven't seen Growing Pains, for I don't know, like 20 years, 25 years, but she looked familiar to me as that little curly hair girl, Chrissy, and I was like, how? Maybe. I mean, I guess they could hang around in the same circles. I have no idea, but I'm digressing a little bit. But my point is that they're all pretty awesome people. They all do amazing voice work. Their characters are rather amazing, and the show is great. But I want to clarify that it is a show. It is a show. Uh, and with that being said, it is rather heavily curated. It is a curated experience, uh, you know, not necessarily railroaded experience. It's a heavily curated experience to, ensure the most entertainment for the audience. Um, and traditionally, D&D campaigns are not that. D&D campaigns are heavily favored towards the players, because there is no audience typically when you play Dungeons and Dragons, um, and so there's a difference between a show and just a group of friends sitting down playing the game. So uh, the reactions to the events that happen and things like that, I feel are a little bit upstaged. They're a little bit done over, not overboard, but they're done to an extreme in order to generate a reaction from the audience as well, and that's completely fine. It's completely fine. But there is a distinction, and I wanted you to know that. Um, and so D&D has grown quite substantially in fifth edition. I don't know about fourth edition, what happened then, because I didn't play it. I didn't even know about it, at all. I was completely out of the D&D loop for some years, um, and so I had no idea there was even a fourth edition. I don't know what happened. D&D just completely left my brain for some reason, and I reacquired it one day. It was like, oh no, what? How did I forget about D&D? Like, that's like, I am D&D. Like, how did I forget about D&D? I don't know. I just got so much in my life going on, and kids and things like that come around, and you start to have to let go of some of your hobbies, and that's kind of probably just what happened. Um, but back to Critical Role, and its popularity. Critical Role, without a doubt, has helped D&D. It's helped Wizards of the Coast. It's helped sell more products. They even have their own products. Those are pretty successful things. Um, and I don't think I can say enough wonderful things about Critical Role. This isn't me bagging on Critical Role. I know some people do that in order to try to get a negative reaction or something. I guess I don't really know. Maybe they really just don't like it. I do like it. I think it's fun to listen to. Don't really get much time to watch it physically, but I listen to it, and I think that Matthew Mercer and his gang of friends is a net positive for D&D. What I think, though, that there is a misunderstanding amongst players, new players, almost always, and new DMs who were players, or they just jumped in and became DMs because they seen Matthew Mercer did it. So why don't I do it? And jumping off the diving board into the deep end without knowing how to swim probably isn't the best of ideas. You could probably do it. Trial by fire is certainly a thing. But when it comes to D&D and Critical Role and players' expectations, I think that new players expect that Critical Role is the way D&D is, and that's just not true. That's just not true, because, like I said, they're tailoring it for a show, and campaigns are tailored to the players exclusively. And so when new players come in from watching Critical Role, they have a certain expectation about them that the campaign that they're about to embark in is going to be like Critical Role. That's not going to happen. The DM isn't Matthew Mercer. The experience isn't there to be heavily curated. It's based off of you and what you do and what you don't do even. and so there isn't like, it's not like a guided tour through an amusement park, so to speak. It's more of choose your own adventure. And so I think when new players come in and think that it's going to be Critical Role and it's going to be Matthew Mercer, they're setting themselves up for failure. And you probably shouldn't do that. You probably shouldn't do that. The average D&D campaign, yeah, you might, if you're in person, and this I guess applies to Roll 22, but some of the in-person things, obviously, you'll be able to tell which is which. But in person, yeah, you might have some minis, you might have a map, you might even have some music playing. Chances are it's just going to be something from Skyrim or whatever. But that's fine because you're not broadcasting it to anybody, and it's just there to set the mood. It isn't there to infringe on copyright. You're not making money from all that nonsense trash. And so, excuse me. Every time I get, maybe I talk too fast. I don't know. My mouth dries out real fast when I'm talking to you guys. But yeah. So Critical Role has a huge, huge budget and a whole slew of people behind the scenes to do the editing and to do everything, the artwork, even the music, the intros, the outros, all those things are done by a team behind the scenes. No DM has a team behind the scenes. It just isn't going to happen. You can't go up to people who want to be in your campaign or run a campaign or just some random person and be like, hey, you want to do some work for me for free? You can't do that. This is not going to work, right? And so that's the difference. That's a huge difference because Critical Role has a huge leg up on everything else out there because they have the biggest budget to do so, right? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing either. That's great. That's fine. That's awesome. They made it. They hit a tilting point, and they made it. But also, they were already voice actors. They were already C and D list celebrities and things like that, and they were able to transfer their gaming things or their celebrity or their voice acting in games and things with their love of tabletop. And it was a very easy transition. And the success pretty much, it was just, they all had their own fan bases and, word of mouth spread and they hit a tipping point. Most people who play D&D aren't going to have, they're not going to have that. They're not going to have a pre-built fan base. It's not going to be ready-made for consumption. And so that's kind of my thoughts on it. So I guess to take away from that, what you want is as a player, just don't go into a campaign expecting it to be Critical Role. Some DMs don't even do voices at all because for whatever reason they don't feel like they can, or they think it's silly, or But D&D is silly. And so if you want to do those things, just do them. The other people at the table are also silly. So they're not really there judging you. They shouldn't be. If they are, those are the wrong type of people then. But you're there to let loose, man. Let go of life for a little bit and just chill out and have fun with your friends. That's what it's all about. And so if you enjoy Critical Role, keep watching it. Keep watching it. Take some tips from it, on rules or the archetype of how they play certain characters and things like that. Take those things away, and you can apply those types of things. Don't copy them. I've ran into people who are already copying directly Critical Role, and don't do that. Don't do it. But the Matt Mercer effect, it is real. Whether people say it's not, you'll find YouTube videos saying that it is. You'll find some that say it's not. It's real. How could it not be real? it'd be silly to say it's not real. Um, but it's a good thing. But with every good thing, there's the bad side usually, and so going into a campaign expecting it to be Critical Role, because Critical Role isn't the traditional D&D experience, and so you shouldn't expect it to be your typical D&D experience. All right. So with that said, I'm going to get back to I was starting to edit the next session that I have for you guys. It's going to be session 25, and it's I think at this point it's like 12 to 15 sessions behind the live session, which is fine because it started out at like 31 or so, and so we're catching up. And my goal is to catch you guys up to the live campaign, and so this way you can see the end, the last few sessions live, if you wish to, for YouTube. You'll be caught up, you'll be good to go, and we'll all have fun doing it. All right, so that's my quick take on Critical Role, on the Matt Mercer effect. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you didn't, let me know why, and we can have a discussion. I'm always up for discussions. I'm not always right. Nobody is, and but I'm willing to have any type of discussions that you wish to have. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'm going to go upload this, and I will see you soon with the next video. Thank you.